Most success takes an enormous amount of effort, and I think it's really important that we celebrate these milestones. It's a marker in our memories of the time we spent in a place and the people that we spent it with. So yeah, I think it's really important in terms of us looking back on who we are and who we have become to celebrate our successes.
We are a university that's willing to be more innovative, willing to be more entrepreneurial, willing to manage greater risks, because we have to. And the status is, well, and out of that, isn't it extraordinary that employers in Sydney now think that the graduates that come from Western Sydney beat the graduates that come from any other Sydney university in terms of being prepared for work.
It's funny how you think things are separate parts of your journey, and then in hindsight you can look back and see it's like a tapestry and they all actually interlink.
My drive has always been my own thought to push myself more, push myself further, and always sort of looking ahead and not really looking behind me. Seeing new challenges, they come along, grab them by two hands and just go for the ride.
Part of the challenge of the university is part of the challenge of Western Sydney, is getting the story of Western Sydney out there. Look, how many people know that Parramatta at the last census in 2016 now has more people living there with degrees than does Mosman or Woollahra?
Over 12,000 of our students are in clinical places in hospitals in Western Sydney. There are over 300 PhD students looking at some of the really tough, challenging health problems we have in the region, so at the cutting edge of research, and over 200 of our clinicians and researchers.
And having read the profiles of some of the fellow nominees, so I'm just really humbled to be here and to have been recognised as a finalist in the Young Alumni category.
Peter's had a severe brain bleed and he's going to have severe cerebral palsy. He won't walk, he won't talk, he will have a profound intellectual disability and won't be able to go to school.
We are generating graduates who are working in Western Sydney, they're interning in the hospitals of Western Sydney, and they're becoming specialists and returning here. It's because our hospitals are better for it. So the health and well-being of the people of Western Sydney is greatly enhanced because we have a medical school.
So with 20 questions, I finally work out he's pointing to the corner of the room. And there in the corner of the room is a screw to his wheelchair. Gulp. Turns out I'd put 23 back and I was supposed to put 24 back, and Peter had been counting. Now, no child with a profound intellectual disability can count. At that moment, I had as many questions as Peter's parents. Why had this child been diagnosed with a profound intellectual disability? Why had nobody noticed he was bright? Why wasn't he in school? Was this good enough? Could I have a part to play? And under the guidance and wisdom of Professor Anne Cusick, I undertook a PhD at Western Sydney University. And I learned that asking questions can catalyse innovation.
But we've got to, you can't just depend on government money. Entering to partnerships with business to support research, enormously important. Getting support from the philanthropic sector, enormously important. This is the money you can use in a way to do the flexible things, to do the innovative things, to do the research which you think may not pay a dividend in 2 years, but in 10 years might. It makes more difference, if you will, than the sum of the money that is given in that form.